My name is Sinclair Fleming, CEO of P3 Paper Plastic Products. Every Wednesday, I answer real business questions that come in through WhatsApp from operators, founders, executives dealing with real decisions. No theory, no motivation, just actually how this works in real business life. If you're building, scaling, trying to avoid expensive mistakes, this series is for you. Now let's get into today's questions. What problem in my business took me the longest to understand? By far, people's personality as it interferes with business operations. Because we are a family oriented organization at P3, it's very difficult to divorce people's personal stuff from the business, especially when they're in key critical positions. No, we don't want to be involved, but because the CEO is in charge of the culture, we have to make sure that there's a safe and happy working environment. That doesn't mean that we need to fulfill every deed and request of employees, but sometimes when you see people going through something, you have to decide whether as a company you're going to get involved and help solve it, or you're going to ignore it because they're going to do it themselves, or you're just going to lend a listening ear or some advice. So that's kind of difficult because every staff, every person, every season kind of has a different feel to it. So as a manager, as any supervisors that we train, we try to ask them to have a little grace with people. Don't let them take advantage of the company, obviously, but have a little grace with people in case there's a thing we say. If you came to work and you're not 100%, you just say, hey, I'm a 4 out of 10 today. And everyone around you knows, okay, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to get to a 10, but at the moment, I'm a 4. And this way, people know to whether leave you alone. If this meeting could have been an email, or I could send him a WhatsApp message and he's probably not going to answer till later, but I understand. Now, obviously, you're not going to let people come to work 3 times a week speaking about 4 out of 10. But you give people a little grace and ability to get things done. So yeah, the ability to manage people's personalities and personal issues as it pertains to the business and business hours is some of the hardest things to navigate over time. As a smaller business, how do I negotiate better terms with vendors because I don't have the larger volumes as the larger vendors? Difficult. I think you should try to, instead of negotiating better prices, see if you can get better credit terms. See if you could get better negotiating power with loading and offloading or consolidations or something that's going to add value to your business. I only say that because most of the companies now that people are buying from, they are subsidiary of other companies. So it's not like a mom and pop where you could ask a question and you could get approval. These approvals have to go up the chain, and normally up the chain is very much concerned about volume. How many is the person buying? How many containers? Which SKU? These type of things. So you can get better prices as well, but you need to come in with an offer. So what we normally do as well when we want to test the market, say we're buying something from China, Vietnam, or Colombia, anywhere there's a new vendor. Even if we're not buying a container load of one item, we will request that container load of that item so we could get the price that they give for volume. And once we get the price that we give for volume, we instruct them that, hey, we're only testing the market. We only need about a quarter of that. And then we see where the price falls. And normally the price doesn't fall far from it because they know they've already showed us the price that they wanted. But this normally works for vendors that we already have a relationship with. They already know we ship goods, and they already know if they give us a decent price, we're gonna, once we test the market, we're gonna buy greater volumes. But if you're a small business that can't buy volumes, I would say maybe you could partner with other businesses of your size that's not in your direct competitive radius to kind of put things together, but that's dangerous in itself because you've paid a lot to get your vendors and your relationships, so to offer them to others. And then when you do need to buy volume, maybe someone is selling faster than someone else, they run out, the rest of the group isn't ready to buy, and now you're stuck buying at the higher price again. So credit terms, better consolidations, quicker turnovers, stuff like this seems to be the best move when you're smaller. But if you can afford to buy larger volumes, Try to see if you can, if the items don't have an expiration date or a best by date, maybe you can get a loan from the bank and try to do it if you know you have the turnover. Don't ever lend money to speculate. You have to know that the demand will be there, and then you'll just hold the products until they've sold. But these are some of the things you could use in negotiation time. If I had to make my business stronger this month, what is the highest move? I think the fact that you want to make your business stronger in 1 month is the problem in itself. These things take a long time. Now, if you had to, I would say increase your knowledge and try to increase revenue. Try to do some type of marketing. I would pick 1 or 2 SKUs that you're strong in and just use Facebook Marketplace or some type of boosting or ads to kind of push that 1 or 2 SKUs to their designated customer. If you sell medical equipment, you have something new for doctors, you take that 1 or 2 SKUs and you push it directly to doctors on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. That will help at least increase activity and probably sales in that month. But if it's just a monthly thing or a quarterly thing and you're speaking about actual structural change, actual growth, then I think you might be in a little bit of trouble. I think you need to find a few days on the weekend and just sit and plan the entire year. Then you can see how things kind of fit into each other. So you don't end up doing something in January that you should have done in March. And then by the time you get to March, the whole of February is canceled because everything you were doing up until that point has to be changed in March to fit the new plan. So it's very important to have your strategic plan for the year, 2 years, 3 years out based on what you want to get done. And then each month you try to one up yourself as to what's happening in marketing, in sales, in HR, in admin, in retail sales, whatever the case may be. So boosting things in a month, it can be done. Obviously, all of us have done it before. You get into Q4 and it's the end of the year. You have some deadlines to hit and you wanna look good with some numbers, but it's not a long-term fix, obviously. So investing in yourself, your education, your ability, if you're a solopreneur or you lead in the team, that's the biggest ROI, but over time. But if you want to do something this month that makes you look good, like marketing and advertising of a few particular SKUs would do the job. If you have a question you want covered, send it in. You can WhatsApp it to the number on the screen or message it through iMessage, Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you're watching this. The more detailed the questions, the better. My name is Sinclair Fleming. Now, go take action. I'll see you next Wednesday.